Third member of our broadcast crew is Joey Ellis, and he joins us down on the sideline. Joey?
Well, Mark, as you said, neither of these teams are rather strangers to a setting like this, as they're very familiar playing in the state title game. We met with both coaches prior to the game. Pretty calm demeanors from both sides. I expect both of these teams at this point now just ready to get going. They seem pretty calm and locked in to do what they have to do. They know how to play in these kinds of games. And, Mark, I'm just expecting a really good one today.
And Joey, what do you got for us?
Yeah, Mark, as was the case in the last game, both of these teams, plenty of familiarity playing in the state championship. And for the reigning state champs, Powers North Central, head coach Leo Gorzinski calls the Superior Dome his playground for he and the team, as they know just about all the soft spots and where to throw and run the ball in this field. And as for Colon, they're back here again, although in a different division now, a step down in Division II after taking the Division I state title game back in 2019. But they will get quite the stiff test today, Mark, against the reigning Division II state champs. Thank you, Mark. I'm here with the Norseman head coach, Garrett Gopi. And, Coach, just first off, the way this game started with the pick six maybe could have snowballed into how last year went in this matchup. But you guys handled it well. How pleased were you with the way you closed out the first half?
Onto the sideline, we were ready to go, my friend Joey Ellis.
I'm joined now by the head man of the Cougars. And, Coach, just you have the 100-yard interception pick six for a touchdown, and then you kind of respond to close the half. What do you think of the way you guys closed the half out? Mike, the last time the Ewan Trout Creek Panthers boys basketball program won a state championship, it was all the way back in 1972. Members of that championship team were here at the Breslin Center today, hoping their alma mater could bring home another title for the first time in 50 years. Now the Panthers will try to capture an elusive state championship after doing it all the way back in 1972. They'll battle Wyoming Tri-Unity Christian. It'll be the early game Saturday morning right back here at the Breslin Center with tip-off slated for 10 a.m. Eastern. In East Lansing, Joey Ellis, TV6 Sports.
Thank you, Emily. Now, we are live right now in Negaunee Suicide Bowl, the site for tonight's ski jumping tournament. TV6's Joey Ellis is there. Joey, how are conditions? What do the things look like out
Cody,
there?
as you could probably imagine, I can barely stand up straight on skis, let alone fling myself off a 90-meter ski jump. But that's the case here for the Ishpeming Ski Club as the 135th ski jumping tournament set to take off here. And I'm joined by somebody who knows just a little bit more about the event than myself, Bob Henriksen. You're the club secretary here. And Bob, just first off, what is this, for somebody not as familiar, what is this event and what does it exactly entail? Yeah, Mike, Marquette actually had quite the battle last weekend as Claire made the trip upstate here to Marquette to play them. But as the Redmen have done all season long, they just keep winning and finding ways to win. And since that early Week 2 loss to Traverse City Central, they've rattled off the past 4 straight, but tonight they'll get another stiff test as the Menominee Maroons come to town. As I'm joined now by the head man of Marquette, Eric Mason. And Coach, just first off, what did you learn about your team, if anything, from that hard-fought slugfest last week? Now Tech drops to 9-1-1 in its last 10 games with just 4 left to play as the Huskies now aim down the barrel of an NCAA tournament at large berth. In Houghton with the Huskies, Joey Ellis, TV6 Sports. Whether he knows it or not, people in Michigan skiing communities know all about Houghton's senior skier, Reed Heathman.
I don't know if I really like the fame, but I like talking to people. People, like, I'd never know, come up to me and like see me on the news or something, and I enjoy talking to people.
But Heathman's backed up the talk as he begins his senior season as the reigning Division II state champ in slalom skiing.
My sophomore year, I came pretty close. I saw the guys up there went in, and I really wanted to do that, so it was a lot of fun to finally get it.
Reed was born into a skiing family, with his father Larry, the Houghton Hancock head coach, and younger brother Eli joining him on the team this year as a freshman.
Eli started when he was about 4 years old and Reed was about 5. And I enjoy skiing, and they just kind of tagged along, and pretty quick they passed me up and started racing down the hill.
Now in his final year in a Gremlins bib, Reed shaped himself into quite the well-rounded skier.
My slalom has come a long way, and my GS has pretty much always been there, but I'm still improving every day. And yeah, then slalom's probably my biggest improvement over the years.
But off the skis is where his father sees his biggest growth.
His time in the weight room, it really didn't start showing until maybe halfway through his sophomore year. He's been a technically sound skier ever since he started, but the strength and dedication to the sport is what got him the state championship last year.
And with one final shot at more hardware this year, Heathman's hoping all of that hard work can pay off once more.
I'd like to win both the slalom and the GS. I think it's possible.
Reed hasn't thought much of skiing collegiately, but he knows that option's on the table should he choose it.
It's kind of up in the air right now if I want to ski or not, but I know Northern has a good skiing program. There's some schools out west that I was looking at.
In Marquette, Joey Ellis, TV6 Sports. Mike, it's been quite the journey for Michigan Tech senior setter Laura DiMarchi as she traversed continents, coming all the way from her native home in Milan, Italy, all the way here in Houghton, Michigan.
I like to describe it as a roller coaster. I know it's very cliche, but it's a lot of up and downs. There's a lot of excitement at some moment, and then homesickness and challenges in other ones.
DiMarchi came to the U.S. in 2015. She attended high school for a year in Lower Michigan, which was the first time hearing of Michigan Tech.
My host dad's father came to visit us, and I was telling him how I wanted to study engineering, and I was kind of looking to see if I could play volleyball and study in the United States. And he just said you should look into Tech.
Intrigued by the fit, Laura did her research and then emailed head coach Matt Jennings looking for a tryout. And after just the lone practice, Jennings saw all he needed.
Next thing we know, we had a great player coming our way. So a little faith in us and vice versa, and then a little bit of luck and good things happen.
A steady force for the Huskies, DiMarchi has earned accolades left and right. The reigning GLIAC Player of the Year, a 4-time GLIAC Setter of the Year, and she owns the all-time assists in program history with almost 5,000. An all-time career making its mark on the team.
When her performance is as consistent as it is night in, night out, practice after practice, things you start to pick up over time and see is the way that she has made other players around her better.
Studying biomedical engineering, DiMarchi was named a first-team academic All-American, which for her is her #1 priority.
I came here to study first, and playing volleyball was just something fun that I could add to it. I put a lot of effort into my education. I really want to learn and learn as much as I can and do something with my degree to help other people.
Tech won the GLIAC regular season title in 2020, but not the tournament title, which for them this year is a big goal.
To try to win that title, it's something that this program doesn't have, so it would be really cool to add that to our list of accolades over there.
Good evening. As Vinny showed you earlier, the Pine Mountain Continental Cup, it's quite the event, both for ski jumpers as well as the spectators. And I got to spectate that event firsthand today for the first time on day 3, the final day, from Big Pine Mountain. And this was the view from the top of the hill after I nearly needed medical assistance. After the 500 grueling steps to get to the top, weather actually calmed to start, and then a thick snow patch made its way through later. Austria's Michael Heubach finished the event in 3rd overall, but maybe won the day today with this jump. Beautiful flight from him and then a perfect landing as you see him stick that. It marked the longest jump of the afternoon at 133 meters or 436.4 feet. He went on to finish the day with 257.8 points and a spot on the podium to go along with it. Slovenia's Ziga Zolar finished day 2 in 3rd place. 3rd and final day for him, just a little bit better. Really solid first jump at 131 meters. He jumped 129 meters on his second jump, and that was good enough to earn a 2nd place overall finish with a total overall score of 261.1. And it was quite the weekend for Slovenia's Domen Prevec. He was in 11th after the first round yesterday, but then had a 433-foot jump to vault himself towards the top and finish day 2 in 1st place. He carried that momentum into the final day, using a 431.4-foot jump on his 2nd attempt today to jump his way into 1st place finish on the weekend. It was not a bad outing for the Slovenian, whose first visit ever to the United States is rewarded with some hardware.
It was an amazing weekend, Saturday competition, first one. It wasn't perfect, but I managed to get hang of it over a hill. Then in the afternoon on the 2nd competition, I made 2 great jumps. And even today, the conditions were not so nice to us guys, but I managed to do 2 even better jumps than yesterday. And guess what? It's first time for me here actually, and first time in America.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm amazed with how the organizers do all the stuff. And yeah, I love that the spectators are back, and I really enjoy that.
Well, for Michigan football, entering today's matchup with Ohio State, it had been 3,653 days since the Wolverines' last win over their rival. And for Jim Harbaugh, now in year 7 at the helm, he was still looking for his first win against the Buckeyes. Previously 0-5 against that team down south, but boy, did Harbaugh find himself a win today. It was the battle of the one-loss teams in Ann Arbor. The winner would punch their ticket to the Big Ten Championship in Indianapolis. Michigan had a brilliant opening drive, capped off here by A.J. Henning on the end around. As he finds the end zone, Wolverines were fired up. They were feeling it early, up 7-zip. Second quarter now, Ohio State, however, would respond down 7-3. C.J. Stroud to Jackson Smith-Njigba, who was really, really good for the Bucks. Huge gain for him as he picks up a big gainer, and then Stroud to the air to Garrett Wilson, who hauls in the touchdown. Take another look at this one, just making the ridiculous grab to put the Buckeyes in front 10-7. But to the third quarter, Michigan now was up 1 after a 1-point halftime lead. Blake Corum was a bit banged up heading into this game, but looks just fine here as he pops a run off there through the hole, ripping off this huge run to stumble his way down inside the red zone. And then just a little bit later, Hassan Haskins, he had a monster game for Michigan. He's going to finish off the drive himself, bouncing it to the outside, and he's following his blockers, and he is into the end zone. Michigan up 21-13. Fourth quarter now, Wolverines, they were up 35-20. But Ohio State in desperation mode. Stroud looking towards the sideline, finds Chris Olave, who hauls in the ridiculous catch to keep the chains moving. And then later in the drive, it's fourth down now. Buckeyes need a score to stay alive. Aiden Hutchinson almost gets a finger on it, but Travion Henderson, the sensational freshman, finds the end zone. Ohio State not done just yet, down 8. But they had no answer for Haskins all day. Michigan bullied OSU up front. Haskins 28 carries for 169 yards and 5 touchdowns. Huge run and hurdle there. And then here's his 5th touchdown for good measure. Haskins into the end zone. Michigan runs all over the Buckeyes. 42-27 the final. Its first win over Ohio State in a decade. It was one that was a long time coming for Harbaugh.